What's going on? What's going on? Sports-A-Delic. Hello to my subscribers and welcome to my new subscribers. I hope you enjoy the content. And please, everyone, like, subscribe, and share and comment. I'm here this evening. I'm going to give you my prediction for this Monday night's game. Um, unless Russell Wilson has gotten his recipes together and taking some of his wife's uh, advice to level up, then by all accounts, if he's going to produce more of the same, then certainly the Chargers are going to win the game. I think the Chargers are going to win. I just think that they are better built, uh, pose too many matchup problems for the Broncos. That's just my little take on it. Now, moving on, as you can see, my topic is what type of pressure? Yes, I'm a proud graduate of Clemson University. Big fan, big supporter of Deshaun Watson. He brought us our first championship in 34 years. But I am a woman. I am not for women being mistreated and or violated any more than I am for women misrepresenting, exaggerated, and possibly lying. I don't want to engage, and I'm not going to engage in victim blaming or shaming, but I will ask questions like, well, what kind of pressure? I'm a woman. I've certainly, been behind closed doors with a man, and I was trying to imagine what type of pressure that can be put on me where you're not physically or using a gun, a taser, I don't know, squirt my eyes with some Lysol or something, that you're going to pressure me into performing oral sex on you. Like anybody that knows me will tell you, you cannot pressure me into doing anything that I've decided I'm not going to do. You're going to have to pull out a gun. You're going to have to use some extreme measure. I'm not saying that this young lady is lying, but let's explore this statement. She said that Watson took off his towel and asked her to climb up on him, which she refused, she said. And then she skips to then later, he pressured me into performing oral sex on him. So somewhere between him asking her to climb up on him and a blowjob, something is missing from this whole thing. Um, Deshaun Watson deserves whatever punishment and consequence that he's getting. He put himself in a bad situation, okay? But at some point, when there's more, it lets you think, well, maybe we're not really dealing with the total truth here. Sometimes it can get just to be too many. But again, given the benefit of the doubt, I just want, particularly men, particularly men, would you please, if you got my number, call me directly. If you have my email address, email me or leave a comment. I want to understand from your point of view what type of pressure, what type of pressure could she possibly be talking about? I'm not asking women to chime in on this because they're going to do it anyway. I mean, I want everybody to chime in, but specifically, I'm asking men because nobody knows better than men what they do when they're trying to, let's just say, get somewhere. So, um, but and in fairness to her, certainly being in and around the mental health field, there could be, some trauma, PTSD. Um, so that means it may not be the best profession for her to be in as well. Uh, so there could be something underlying, where she's feeling more pressure than what's actually being presented, so to speak. Because sometimes a guy shooting his shot can be interpreted as pressure. Sometimes if he keeps asking. And so maybe she's more so talking about coercion, which I do know there's a piece of the law that states, the coercion. But that's usually based on that person also is making you feel like something bad is going to happen to you if you don't, which she's not saying that he wasn't, like evil and twisted about it. It was just kind of suggested. And then she made it clear that she only charges $125, but he gave her $300, which kind of implies hush money. But supposedly, not just with these excessive need for massages, but even in the Houston community, that he is a very good tipper. Just even in restaurants, what some would say over tip. Bill might be 200, he still might leave 600 because he got it like that. So maybe, just maybe to his credit, he's just a good tipper because he got it like that. Or he could be saying, hey, I'm gonna shot you this extra that's between me and you. I don't know. I just want to know what type of damn pressure. Mm, 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 mm. What are my faves? CLE. What kind of pressure, guys, could she possibly be talking about? What kind of pressure has been put on out there, behind these closed doors that would compel someone with teeth. I'm talking about a full grill of teeth. What would compel you to pressure that person into, you know, and run the risk of obviously being bitten? I would think. We all know what we would do in certain situations until we're in a situation, but I promise you, just as sure as I am sitting here on Sports-A-Delic, I promise you, the headlines will read all different if a man tries to pressure me into performing any sex act, any sex act. That just makes me different. It doesn't mean that this woman or that woman is lying. We're different. That's all I'm going to say about that because, again, as a woman, I want that room to be comfortable and to say no as well. But at the same time, if your story seemingly doesn't make sense, because I do want to know, I think if you're going to make the allegation, then you ought to be able to stand up under the questions. I want to know when this man asks you, when he asks you to climb up on him, why didn't you draw the line in the sand and leave? Tell them keep your money, because I'm not that type of woman. We still have to. We can't just won't always hold the man accountable. Is my point. I have seen too many times, whether it's a celebrity or not. In my past profession, I have seen a whole lot of young ladies ruin a lot of young men's lives with these false allegations. So I'm not just talking here. I've worked it and I've lived it. And if you are going to make these type of allegations, somebody needs to be troubleshooting and have to answer to why you didn't make adult decisions in clearly adult situation. I understand why a child wouldn't be able to, but as an adult, you got to be able to make adult decisions in adult situations because I would have been uncomfortable. I would have been uncomfortable. You asking me to climb up on your naked body, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. It doesn't come along with any massage packages that I've offered. Keep your money and then go make your allegation because at that point, it becomes a little more credibility. But you're like, no, no, no. And then there's this piece that's left out between the time that you refuse to climb up on him to where the blowjob actually happened. I don't know how much time that's yet to be seen. Bottom line, um, the man is dealing with his consequences. But if this is a situation where every time we turn around, some woman is going to be coming forward. At some point, people have to start saying maybe that there's not a whole hell of a lot of validity, and it's really a money grab. It's really starting to smell. It's really starting to smell a little funky to me. And I would be saying it if it was Auburn player, if it was Philly, Arizona. I don't care who the player is. I'm not supporting Deshaun Watson as a person. You know, he obviously did something to get himself in this situation, but I will uh, support and appreciate him as a fan of football. And tremendous talent, and I certainly hope that he's able to rectify whatever it is that he got going on psychologically, if he does have something going on, and get back to the playing fields. And by the same token, whatever damage, mental or emotional damage, and I would say physical, if people are being forced to give blowjobs, I gotta believe there's some kind of uh, throat damage or something, I would think. But I would want everyone to, be able to heal and move forward and have the best quality of life, thereafter. Um, really, because like I said, I've seen both sides. I've seen the ugly truth, and I've certainly seen the ugly lies. But guys, would you please hit me up and let me know? And ladies, of course, feel free to give me your point of view as well. But I really want to hear from my men out there. What type of pressure are you all putting on women out here in these streets? You know, without any weapon, without any physical contact. What kind of pressure are you all putting on women out here? Hmm? I'm just curious. Get at me. Let me know. I'm just curious. No disrespect to anyone. And remember, I got the Chargers beating the Broncos. Have a good night.